from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas, in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee, my coffee with the Gino cup here. I'm having my Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar, powder form. You just put it in your cup, put hot water, and you have a nice cup of coffee. Really inexpensive here in the Philippines. This Copico Blanca, I can get this for 7 pesos each. 10 pieces of this, 70 pesos, about $1.50 for 10 cups of coffee. And it's really good coffee. This is my favorite brand. There's several brands here in the Philippines, even like a Manny Pacquiao 3-in-1 coffee. There's like coffee black, coffee, malunggay coffee. I mean, all kinds of, I would say there's at least 40 different varieties of 3-in-1 coffee. But this is my favorite. Copico Blanca is my favorite. I wanted to start the live stream earlier this morning. Liana doesn't have school, so I don't have to take her to school this morning. Because it's still cooler. That's the whole reason. Because I noticed when I started at 7:30 and I end at 9:30, but by around 9 o'clock, it starts warming up, especially once the sun is up. It doesn't take long to warm up here in the Philippines. Like right now, I checked the temperature before I started the live stream. It's 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it actually feels cool out here. So I'm enjoying this cool air, a little bit of cool air with my hot cup of coffee. Because here in the Philippines, it's always, most of the time, it is always hot and humid here. Unless you live in the mountains, there's places here like Baguio City, Tagaytay, where you get that cool air. But here in our province, we're sea level. We're at sea level here in Numancia, Aklan. Most of the time, it's very hot and humid. By the time the sun comes up, I would say for sure by 10 a.m., it starts warming up fast. You're gonna be like here when I do the live streams here. If I'm here around 9, I'm already start sweating. And it's like that throughout the year, pretty much. Hey, good morning, Roy. Good to see you. Good to see you on the live stream, brother. Yeah, I'm just starting my day here, having my morning cup of coffee. Thank you for joining the live stream. I always start the live stream with the weather because people are always curious about the weather in the Philippines. We are still like in the habagat season right now in the Philippines. It's considered rainy season. It's gonna last like this until about late October, but we can always get hit by a typhoon all the way up to December. But usually by late October, the typhoon season is winding down. But again, sometimes they surprise us and hit us with a typhoon in December. Like in 2019, we had a super typhoon Ursula that even hit us here. Rarely do we get hit here by typhoons here in Western Visayas. Most of the typhoons in the Philippines, they come from the Pacific Ocean. They have a trajectory of like Eastern Visayas, like Samar and Leyte, Central Luzon, like Bicol region, and then of course like Northern Luzon, like Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, Batanes. Those people over there get hammered. It's like that's why it's not the same for the entire country. People think that the entire country gets like a lot of typhoons. We don't here. Rarely, like I said, in my 14 years here in Aklan province, we've been only affected by where a typhoon actually passed through Aklan province in 2014 with Super Typhoon Yolanda, and then 2019 Super Typhoon Ursula. So we don't get hit. We don't get hit like other. We do get rain. You know, the outer bands of the typhoon will get rain here in Aklan province and Western Visayas. Same thing with where Roy and Ria are in Bacolod. They don't get hit by a lot of typhoons either in Bacolod because again, we're all in Western Visayas. By the time the typhoons come through like Eastern Visayas, Samar Leyte, and then Central Visayas, Cebu area, it weakens. So by the time it hits us, it's not strong anymore. Speaking of typhoon, there is actually a tropical storm right now. It is 3 a.m. this morning. The center of a tropical storm Isang. It's called Isang, Isang. And it's based on the data, it's 270 kilometers west of La Union. Again, La Union is like in the Luzon area, in like maybe central part, southern part of Luzon. So they are experiencing rain in Luzon today. Right here, Ilocos region, northern Luzon, sends rains with gusty winds because of tropical storm Isang. More likely, my friends, Fortune in Bacoor, Cavite, and Michael, my friend in Trece Martires, Cavite, more likely they're getting rain. Yesterday, Fortune on the live stream, and then I followed it after the live stream, he even mentioned that torrential rain in Makati, in like Metro Manila. And then I went online and I saw Facebook posts on Metro Manila, like the Taft area, España area, the typical area where it floods. They had flooding. They had areas where almost a waist-high water, above the knee water on the street, on the road. So flooding in Metro Manila yesterday. It just happens in Metro Manila. You get a big downpour of rain and it's gonna like flood really quick in Metro Manila. And then it says here, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. And that's also part because of the habagat, not just tropical storm Isang, but also habagat. And that's what we're getting here this morning. We got clouds this morning. I'll show you real quick here. This morning, like I said, it's a 78 degrees Fahrenheit. It did rain last night. Everything is still wet. The ground is still wet here. My car is wet. Bumblebee is wet. But as you can see, the sun is trying to come out now. And I do not see rain clouds anymore. So in about 15-30 minutes here, I bet you these it's going to turn blue skies here once the sun comes up. I just love watching the sunrise here. That's why I'm out here every morning. I'm out here in my camping chair. I sit here, drink my coffee. I watch the sunrise here every day. It's just a good way to start my day. I enjoy watching the sunrise. Quiet again, you can just hear, if I stop talking, you can hear birds even. That is all I hear here when I'm sitting here. All I hear are birds. No roosters. You know, people are always asking me, aren't you bothered with all the roosters in the Philippines? As you can see, my neighborhood this time in the morning, always quiet. No roosters. We don't have stray dogs, no stray dogs running around, no tricycles. Just a nice and peaceful neighborhood here at Camellia, Aklan, in Numancia, Aklan, in the Philippines. See, the sun is coming up. Gonna be a beautiful sunrise again today. That's just how I enjoy starting my day here in the province. Right here, there's no clouds here. You can tell it's like mostly gonna be blue skies here this morning. So that's the weather here. We got that tropical storm Isang in the La Union area in Luzon, but the rest of the country just experiencing rain because of uh, because of Habagat. I better get through the messages here. Lucita, good morning, Lucita. Good evening over in Maine, my good friend in Maine. While waiting for my kids to visit from Boston. All right, Boston. I thought I'll watch. Oh, thank you, thank you. Good vibes, good vibes. Thank you for the good vibes, Lucita. That's what it's all about for me. I'm all about good vibes, and it's like I always said, there's enough negativity in the world. I do watch the news sometimes. I try not to watch too much news, but unfortunately, when you watch the news, a lot of times there's a lot of negativity. I try to keep up with the news, but I try not to overwhelm myself with the news. Hey, there's my good friend John. John Salve. Hey, Maggie. Maggie, hello, Maggie. From Florida. From Florida. Good morning. Kumusta? Mabuti ako, brother. Mabuti ako, brother. Thank you, thank you. Maggie, all right, Maggie. It says there, Maggie says hi, kuya. Hey, you can call me Kuya, Maggie. I'm gonna, when you come here, I know you and Leanna. I bet you and Leanna will get along. You guys are gonna have fun. We're gonna do stuff when you visit us here in Aklan province. Hiya, Roy. There you go. There, Roy's on the live stream. Keep safe, brother. All right. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack. Mr. All right, Rick. Okay, Scott David. Hello. What is your channel about? All right, Scott. My channel. I've been here. I'm United States retired military. I served 20 years active duty in the United States Air Force. And what my channel is all about is my journey here in the Philippines. 14 years retired now in the Philippines. I retired here when I was 45. Now I'm 59. So what I do now is I help others. I help others retire here, move here to the Philippines. You can contact me WhatsApp, you can contact me Messenger, and email. On all my videos, on the description box, my contact information there. And if you're interested in coming to the Philippines, I will help you. And that's what I've been doing with our channel now. Actually, I was going to discuss that today. That was going to be my discussion today about coming to the Philippines here. I have done a video, I would say about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and I talked about sponsor, having a sponsor here in the Philippines. When I was in the military, when I moved 7 different times in the military, 7 times, 7 different assignments all over the world, including the Philippines, Korea, Japan, and then in the US, I was in California, Texas, Louisiana. We move in the military. And every time we move in the military, we always had a sponsor that when we're going to a base. We always once I get my military assignment, let's say I'm here, I'm going to Texas, the base in Texas appoints me a sponsor, a person like I was hospital personnel. I worked in a hospital for 20 years in the military. They would always assign me a person that worked in the hospital, usually the same job that I did in the hospital. That way, that's my sponsor. And I start communicating with that person. Back in the day, we didn't have email. We didn't even have email. So a lot of times you communicated by letter. And then back in the day, at least we did have the military even way back when I joined the military in 1984. Then I retired in 2004. But even then, in the military, we had this, it's called the DSL, that we can call each other military phone to military phone. So that would be the first thing. It's like I would call my sponsor. I would call my sponsor in the base I was going through, and we would talk for 30 minutes to an hour, just like I'm trying to get all the information about the base. How is it in the base? How is housing outside the base if I had to live outside the base? Getting information. And that my point is that's why I did that video a while back, and I think I'm going to make another video this week. I'm going to talk about sponsorship. um, I really think people when they come to the Philippines, I don't see a reason why you can't have a sponsor coming here. It's like so many expat groups, so many people coming here. You see like people, uh, and the reason this thought even came to my mind about talking about sponsorship is I saw a post. I belong to a group. It's called Philippine Expats, and it's not just American expats coming in here. It's also like Filipinos here. It's a good group. I mean, with any group, of course, you're gonna get some negativity there. But if you like go through all the negativity, there's good information there. And what caught my eye yesterday, there's this gentleman. He's 66 years old. He came up. He was living. He says here, the past 15 years, I've been living aboard one of the sailboats in Florida. That's kind of like his lifestyle in the United States. He's 66 years old, pretty healthy, Social Security. That's what he's living off in Florida. He was $2,000 was his Social Security, roughly. That's what he's saying here. But he was saying that even with $2,000 a month, it was starting to get hard to live in the United States with that amount of money. And then he was watching all the Filipino videos, YouTube videos. So that's what interests him about coming to the Philippines, because he said he figured he might have a better life. So he wanted to give it a try. And then he was saying how he's 66. He said most of his family in the U.S. have passed away, unfortunately. And then the few that were still around, he was saying that they have their lives, right? And that's how it is in the U.S. normally. If you're 66 and, everybody else have their own lives and you're by yourself, you don't really want to hang out and, be like the third wheel, or, you want to, he doesn't want to bother, the relative, the few relatives that he had. So that's why he decided to come to the Philippines. And I was just reading a long message that he had on the Philippine ex, and I'll answer him. I'll reply to his. He was just had the impression that when he got to the Philippines, and he picked Cebu City, that he's seen the videos, how welcoming, how Filipinos are, hospitality and all that. But for the first 3 weeks, and of course it's early, it's 3 weeks. He understands that sometimes it takes time to get friends, build a life here. But he was saying that he's pretty much just staying in his Airbnb. He had walked to SM Mall, but he's not getting a lot of communication from people. He did mention, when he asked people they can speak English, at least, should direct him to the right location. So, and it's like I said, it's still early, but I think one of the things that he didn't think about before he got here was sponsorship. Meeting people here before you even get here. To me, I think that's so important. I learned that from Ruben. Ruben is he's in San Diego right now, but he'll be back in Calibo. He lives in Calibo now. I helped him move here to Calibo. He searched all over the Philippines. He decided to come here to Calibo. He's been here since January. He's got a studio apartment, fully furnished. His rent for the fully furnished studio apartment is 8,000 pesos. Less than, like 170, I think $175. So a really good deal on his studio apartment. But Ruben, what he did before he came to the Philippines, and he hasn't been in the Philippines, like he was born, Ruben's got an interesting story. He's like, he was born in the Philippines, but he left the Philippines when he was 5. and then he lived in Hawaii for most of his life, and then San Diego. When he came back here to the Philippines, he had not been here to the Philippines in 60 years. To me, that was just amazing. 60 years, brother, you never visited in 60 years. He actually connected with family members in vegan. He has family members in vegan. But before Ruben came to the Philippines, he was going on all these YouTube channels. He was introducing himself to, like, to me, one was me. He met a YouTuber in Dumaguete City. He met a YouTuber in Davao City and in Angeles City, and me. So those are the four YouTubers that he was contacting, and he befriended us. It's like, I communicated with him. It's like, hey, whatever I can do, brother, I'll help you. And he did the same with those vloggers. So when he got here, he had a person that when he flew to Dumaguete, there was a guy waiting there, a YouTuber, to like at least show him around. At least, kind of like the welcoming committee, right? Kind of like, hey, this is where you shop. This is where you get your visa. This is where these are available apartments here. To me, it would be like a disservice to yourself if you don't try to gain people, find people here in the Philippines. I mean, there's like so many expats here in the Philippines. I know a lot of the expats, a good percentage of Filipino Americans like me, American citizen, Filipino citizen. The number says that there's over 300,000. But a lot of that, like I said, I can't put a number on like just American, not Filipino American. But there's just a lot. I mean, if you go to places like Angeles City, Dumaguete City, Cebu City, there's just so many expats there from all over the world. So to me, if you're going into like the Facebook groups, you can find people because usually in the Facebook groups, you can kind of tell on their posts if they're cool or not. If they're like, you see a lot of negativity on the person, then you don't want to be friends with that person. If they're like, you're not saying the wrong information, your information is wrong. But if you find people there that you can tell they're helping other people, just put a friend request on that person, message that person and say, hey man, I'm thinking about going to your area. I'm going to Calibo. Can you help me? Can you help a brother out? And most people are, we know, like me, I know what I had to go through. Even though I'm Filipino American, when I came here to Aklan province in 2011, I did not know a single person here in Aklan. I knew my landlord. That's the only person I knew. I met my landlord online, and then when I landed in Boracay, that's when I met her. But I did not know a single person here. If I had a person that I met that before I got there waiting for me at the airport, it just makes a smoother transition. And that's what I try to do. It's like if the people that I'm helping now, when they come to Aklan province, I pick them up at the airport. I don't care if it's Calibo Airport, if it's Caticlan Airport, over an hour away from me, I will go there and pick that person up just because I know how valuable that is to the person, right? You land 8,000 miles away from your country, you land the Philippines, at least you got a smiling face. Hey, what's up? It's like, I'll have my banner, I say, welcome to the Philippines, at least you got that, and then at least you got somebody that you can trust that can, hey, these are the areas to avoid, these areas are the best apartments available. And I know, like, the Panay Posse, I know when they come here, Daniel, JP, Edgar, when they come here to Panay Island, I know they would appreciate that. That's why I love doing YouTube, because like I want that for people. I want people to be successful when they come here to the Philippines. I don't want to hear, like, I don't like seeing the stories where I hated the Philippines, I'm going back to my country. I don't like that. A lot of times, they just didn't have that nice transition, that soft landing. They didn't have that soft landing. So, oh, there's Frank. Hey, Frank and Phil. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frank and Phil. Appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wendy's Chili is the. I know, right? One of my jobs. That's why I love Wendy's. One of my fast food jobs. I think like me, I worked at Taco Bell and Wendy's was the other place. During my high school years in the Philippines, I worked at Wendy's. They actually have a Wendy's. I know in Angeles City. I've had Wendy's at Angeles City in Manila. I'm not sure if they have it in Iloilo. I haven't seen it in Iloilo City. I haven't seen Wendy's in Panay Island. I'm hoping they do, man. Like you said, man, I love the chili, man. I remember the chili the first time I ate that. I actually made the chili. It comes in packets, and we have like a slow cooker type machine that we used to make it. I know how to make a lot of the Wendy's food. It's like we had a freezer. Most of the stuff comes in boxes, frozen. But like I've prepared just about all the Wendy's food. During my times. That's why it's one of my favorite fast food. Thank you so much again, brother. Appreciate you, Frank and Phil. And when Dazzle and I go to Iloilo City next time, I'll try to like message you. I'm scheduled to do another MRI, like my monitoring MRI is in October. So I'll shoot you a message, Frank. Appreciate it again, brother. You look like Park Jin Young. Ooh, I don't know that one. People tell me I look like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, but I don't know. I'll have to ask Liana. Liana is like the Korean drama, K-pop. Liana also knows all the K-pop. Let me take a picture of that. That way I can ask Liana when she gets up today. Let me take a picture of that. It says there, Park. Oh, there it is. Park Jin Young. Park Jin Young. Hi, John. I'm great. There's Roy. There's Roy. Good to hear. Good to hear, Roy. I know, man. It's like I know that was tough. That was tough for you and Rhea when I saw watched the video. You flying out. This man. I can't. I know LDRs are tough, brother. But hang in there, brother. You got a good woman in Rhea, man. Good morning. There it is. There you, Ray and Roy. About the Panay Island, Philippines. All right. Yeah, I was just gonna, that was my message today. I wanted to like discuss something, and that, I think it's important. Even, if you're coming to the Philippines, try to make an attempt to like find a sponsor here. I mean, there's so many YouTubers here. It's like maybe not the big time YouTubers. But there's plenty of small YouTube channels like me that I know would be interested in guiding you. It's like, and then you'll find out if that person is genuine too, right? You're gonna find out if the person you're watching on YouTube is like a genuine person. If it's not, sometimes what you see on YouTube, you meet the person. I've had those instances, and they're not the same. They're not the same. So at least you'll get that experience. You get to meet that, like the people that you watch on YouTube. But man, it's like it's an advantage if you meet somebody before coming here. Just the fact that if somebody's gonna pick you up at the airport, show you around town, or even secure you an apartment before you get here, man, it's like that you can accomplish a lot, doing that. And like my friend in Iloilo City right now, he came from Pennsylvania. He was just planning on landing in Manila. At first he was landing in Manila and just gonna go with the flow, kind of like. And I told him, no, 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 not Manila, man, not Manila. So I convinced him to go to Iloilo City because he wanted a more city setting. He didn't want the province. He likes his SNR. He likes a nice condo. And I told him, nothing wrong with that. We all have different likes, right? We all have different things we're looking at retirement. So he's looking for a more, like a little bit of more Western style retirement in the Philippines. So nothing wrong with that. So I guided him over to Iloilo City. I actually, when I was there the last time, I actually went with him to like a few condos before he selected the condo that he wanted, because I just timed it to where I had to meet other people in Iloilo City, so I was able to help him. But I know he's like, he was so thankful, he was like grateful that I did that because, it makes that smooth landing, that soft landing. And I never charge. I have never charged anybody. I've never asked for money from people. Even here in the live, I would never ask people that give money. I appreciate it. It keeps our channel going. It's like it encourages me to help more. But I have never asked for money. One of the subscribers one time, before he contacted me, he contacted a guy in Cebu City because he was thinking of landing in Cebu City, start his life here. And the guy that he contacted there was asking $500. I told him, that's usually not a good sign. if a YouTuber or somebody asks you for money to assist you in moving to an area, that's probably a red flag. That's probably a red flag. I probably would try to avoid that person too. John, okay. Roy, great. It's me. Balikbayan guy. Yeah, yeah. Everybody knows you as Balikbayan guy. Balikbayan guy, John. But change the name because Maggie wanted to be part of the name. So now it's John, Salve, and Maggie. Good day, Frank and Bell. All right. Oh, I'll probably see it. More likely, I'll see you, Frank. I'm sure for Lara's birthday. Dazzle and I, we plan on going to Lara's birthday. That Philippines life in Rojas City. Lara's gonna be celebrating a birthday here. Dazzle's actually, she got a job at the birthday. She got to do the face painting. Yeah, yeah. So Dazzle, like yesterday, Dazzle and I, we were actually looking for the paint material here in Calibo, but we couldn't find it because the Japanese home center said they ran out of it. Because Dazzle wanted to practice because she's never done face painting before. But Kat told Dazzle that's her job when she attends Lara's party. But we'll figure it out. We'll probably. I told Dazzle we can probably order it, the face paint. I'm sure Kat will have it available, but Dazzle wanted to practice because she's never done it. We're hoping we can take. We were hoping we can take Leanna because Leanna's the artist, but it does. I don't know what the. I know the birthday, the date of the birthday, but I think there's a change of date. So I haven't gotten the final date yet. But if Leanna doesn't have school, she'll come with us. But I'll probably see you there. Frank and Phil. Hello, Gino. Hey, Frank. All right. Fortune, good AM, fam. And Panay Pasi, all right, Fortune, my good friend in Bacoor, Cavite. I know, happy long weekend, man. Monday is a holiday here in the Philippines. It's National Heroes Day. So 3-day weekend for Filipinos. No banks, no school. Leanna's happy, It's like I told Leanna I'll take her swimming this weekend. We'll go to Agsam Resort in Calibo and go swimming. Thanks again, Frank. Appreciate it, brother. That's so kind of you, Frank. Been raining hard here as Isang will cut across. I figured that, Fortune, when I saw that, I said, oh man, they're gonna get more rain in Cavite, where my good friend Fortune and my good friend Michael are living in Cavite. I figure, man, you guys are gonna get rained again today. Just stay safe, stay at home, stay safe, have a nice cup of coffee, it's like, you don't want to be out and about in the torrential rain and the torrent. I'm glad you made it home though, because I saw, man, the videos on Facebook in Makati. There was like torrential rain, España, Taft Avenue, the typical by the LRT. I saw people like wading through the water. I was like, man, it's like it's just hard. It's just hard for Filipino workers working and have to take public transportation this time of the year. Okay, cool, John. I got ya. What are you? There's Roy. Good morning from Florida. All right, Tim. Lots of viewers all the time that join the live stream here from Florida. Like John, he's from Florida. Daniel, I'm sure Daniel will come on. He's from Florida. My friend Chris is from Florida. There's a lot of people from Florida here. Good morning, team. Good morning. Good morning, Gino. All right. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, brother. Oh, Michael Manalastas. Good morning, brother. Gino from Super Hot Bay Area. Wow, super hot. Hey, I was just watching earlier, man. HD went on a live stream. HD, he was live streaming the humpback whales. I was like, I got up in the morning. I looked at my phone. I was like, HD's live. I was like, HD's live. HD never goes on live. He has a channel to HD, so I like jump on it. I like opened it, and it's like he was like at the shoreline by a pier, and there was the humpback whales. I was like, what the, I was like, that was so cool. So I went downstairs, put it on my big TV because like I could barely see it on my phone, so I put it on our big screen TV, and sure enough, the humpback whales were like feeding. You could see like sometimes their tail, sometimes the front, sometimes the back. It was cool. I mean, lots of birds. That was the first thing I noticed about the his live stream here in our ocean here by Aklan. Like when I go to the beach here, even at New Washington, Calibo, or Navitas Beach, there are birds, but not many. Like seagulls. I'll see tiny seagulls, but usually you see a handful of seagulls. Man, on HD's live stream, there was just like hundreds, thousands of birds, and not just seagulls, pelicans, all kinds of birds just feeding. You can tell they're feeding on the ocean because the humpback whales were also feeding. So I sat there for like good 30, 45 minutes just watching it. I was like enthralled because HD was like catching, and it wasn't just one whale. It's like three whales that HD was tracking. So cool, so cool. I've always been, fascinated by the ocean, fascinated about whales, things like that, dolphins. It's like when I go to different areas, like when we went to Bohol in Panglao, Bohol, we took a island hopping tour, and part of the island hopping tour was like the dolphins. Your boat, running your boat, and the dolphins are like jumping. It's like it's so awesome. That's like so awesome here in the Philippines that you can experience things like that. Fortune, Isang will be out of par by this afternoon, but Habagat still. Yeah, yeah. I mentioned that I didn't know that Isang was going to be out, so that's good. But Habagat's going to be here probably till October, man. Are you feeling stronger and stronger? Yes, I'm feeling strong. For me, my dry mouth is the biggest thing, that one of the side effects. And then my voice. My voice will always be kind of like raspy, kind of like hoarse all the time, but it is what it is. It's like, and then I have multiple side effects from chemo and radiation, but I accepted it all. It's like, it's not a big thing to me. It's like, for me, I'm just happy to be alive, and I'm getting stronger and stronger. I've gained weight. Most people will tell you I've gained weight. I'm up to like 154 pounds now. I was 119 pounds when I ended my treatment. So, everything's a blessing, brother. It's like when I, look at the sunshine like this every day, it's like everything's a blessing. All the side effects doesn't even, it's like, I don't even worry about it. It's like, I don't even talk about it, even to Dazzle. It's like, I don't, some of the things that I feel. The biggest thing I think for me is like the endurance. I just don't have the endurance that I used to have. And I'm trying, I'm trying to build it by walking a lot, jogging a little bit, but, I still can't, I can't still really run because I get out of breath fast, and then if I overdo it during the day, like if I do a lot of activities, like the river, when we went to like the Malumpati River, even the hiking through the jungle, and then the tubing, when I was in the drive there and the drive back, when I got home like we got home like at 6 p.m. I was out. Man, I hit straight to bed at 6 p.m. I was like out. I was like asleep for like a good 9 hours. But I just have to do that. When if I can't overdo it. My endurance is not there. But I just have to like pace myself. And if I do a physical activity like that, like a hiking or anything, I just have to rest the next couple of days. Get my strength back again. Joe from Menifee here. I think you had messaged me before, Menifee, and I was like, where is this Menifee? Let me Google it, man, because I don't know where Menifee is, man. I've kind of heard it. I've kind of heard Menifee. I'm thinking it's in California, but let me see. I don't want to like yeah, it's California. That's okay. Now it's a city in California. I thought it was in California for some reason. Riverside County. That's why. That's why I've seen it because I lived in Los Angeles County and I traveled in Southern California, of course. And one of my best friends live in Lake Elsinore Lake Elsinore, Riverside County. So Orange County, that area. So now I know. Now, that's why I said I know I've seen that sign before, Menifee. Go Air Force. All right. Go Air Force. All right. Love your Wendy's share. Yeah, I mean, Wendy's always one of my favorite fast food in the U.S. And they have them here in the Philippines. I don't think they have it in Panay Island, but Burger King is the one that I usually go when I go in Iloilo City. I don't think I've seen a Wendy's. In Angeles City, I know they have Wendy's, and also in Manila. I've eaten at Wendy's in Manila, a Baconator. I ate a Baconator, and then at Angeles City, I ate the chili. The best chili, best fast food chili is the best fast food chili is Wendy's. I used to make that chili. It's like that was part of my job was making chili when I worked at Wendy's. Breakfast was my shift normally when I worked at Wendy's, and I would make like Saturday and Sunday I would work the breakfast. I come into work like at 6 a.m. to like 8 hour days on a weekend, and I was the breakfast guy. I was like the one making a lot of the breakfast at Wendy. Me too, Frank said, me too, all right. Michael C., good morning, bro. Me and Rose are having our Copico, all right, all right. Michael is my good friend in Trece Martires in Cavite. And Rose, Michael's partner, are having our Copico. And he has one of these cups. I gave him one of these cups because I met Michael and Rose when they were in Boracay Island. So he's a proud owner of the coffee with Gino cup. And I don't sell the cups. I just give it to like people that I meet, people on our channel. If you meet me, I'll give you one of the cups. I don't sell it. It's like, I don't, I'm not into that thing. I rather gift it. So I know it's got more value to people when I gift it to them. And Michael also drinks Copico Blanca. He actually sent me a video one time. He's drinking his Copico Blanca and pictures of him drinking his coffee. It rained all night until 5. All right, have a great weekend. Same here. It rained last night. It's drying up now. The sun is coming up, but it rained. I know it rained last night when I got up this morning. It was still rain. There were still rain clouds, but now it's like sunny weather now. Sunny weather. We're okay here in Florida. Just missed a bad hurricane. Erin, yeah, I remember Erin. I actually Googled that Erin, the hurricane Erin. Thank God. I know, man. It's like that's the same here. It's like those, typhoons, tropical depression, all that. We don't worry too much when we hear that here in the Philippines because we get about 20 of them a year. Typhoons. The Philippine area of responsibility about 18 to 20 typhoons. But when we hear super typhoon, then you kind of get on alert, when super typhoon, because the super typhoon, what's so destructive about the super typhoon in the Philippines, it's not the rain, it's the wind. The wind is like intense when it's and that's the category. It's because the wind is like becomes like a super typhoon. Really strong winds, damaging winds. Will, all right. Thank you, John. Ria and fam. Yeah, I will. Like yesterday, I was on the live stream with Roy and Ria. I was watching their live stream with Dad. You know, Ria was with Dad, and you can see Roy talk communicating with them. So I'm sure they're doing the LDR. That's kind. I know that's kind of tough, the LDR, but they'll be together soon. You just gotta like look forward to like the day that you're together. That's what I Again, thank you, Frank. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that, Frank. For now, we are doing 4 months of a year. If you can convince my wife, if you can convince my wife, you know what? That is a common thing, Joe, that I've noticed, especially with Filipino American families in the U.S. The Philams that communicate with me. It's usually the Filipino American husband that wants to come here. The Filipino wife usually is like happy in the US. And I can understand because we get Americanized. I was the same, when I was in the United States, I lived in the US for 30 years. I was Americanized. I was more American than I was more Filipino. I came to the United States when I was young, so I grew up. Attended high school, graduated high school, military. I was more American than Filipino. But I think for me, the only reason why I ended up here, coming back, that one assignment, I had an assignment in Clark Air Base in the late 80s. I was part of the Pinatubo evacuation in 91. And I got a glimpse. I saw a glimpse of like retired life in the Philippines because I had military retired people, United States Air Force retired, Navy retired in the Angeles City area in Olongapo City that were friends of mine. I would like attend parties, and I saw the life that they had. And they just retired from the military at Clark and they never went back to the States. They just stayed in the Philippines. And I saw the life that they had. And I was like, in the back of my mind, that was always in the back of my mind, like, man, these guys are having a good life here in the Philippines under military pension alone. So I was like thinking, if I get a chance, I would do the same. And it just happened, it's like when I hit 45, I had that opportunity. I had a little bit of savings. I had my pension. I didn't owe anything. That was the key for me. I did not owe any money. I had no credit card debt or anything like that. So I knew if I go to the Philippines when I was 45, I can make it, with my military pension because it was just me. It's like I can get like a small apartment, live below my means. And, I guess the rest is history. The rest is like been here 14 years and it's been an amazing 14 years here in the Philippines. There he is, HD. There he is. Greetings and salutations. Oh yeah, man, I enjoyed it, HD. I was just telling the group here about the watching the whales. That was so cool, man. I didn't realize how they get that close to the pier. That's the first thing that when I opened, I was like, wow, they're not scared of people. It's like here in the Philippines, man. A lot of if there was whales here, they'd be scared of people. Because how the Philippines here, man. They like to eat any seafood. I know the humpback is a large whale, but they will avoid, if it was here in the film. But that was so cool how it's by that pier, shoreline. You guys can film it, but take pictures of the whales near the shoreline. And then I was mentioning HD. The first thing that I noticed was like, dang, that's a lot of birds. It's like thousands of birds. It's like here you'll never see that, man. And like you said, HD had said that's a telltale sign that there's a problem overfishing. And there's a problem here. On the shorelines here, you'll see tiny fish, but most of the big fish here, like tuna, mackerel, barracuda, you name it, you have to go farther out in the sea to catch those. You're not gonna catch like a big fish shoreline because they just overfish here. Wow, thanks Frank and Bill. All right. Great story, Gino. Very good information. You'd be a great sponsor for anyone coming here. Agree. Oh, thank you, Frank. So kind. Thanks, so kind, my brother. Appreciate that. And I continue doing it. The next guy in line is Edgar next month. Edgar's gonna be here. And then October, Kel's gonna be here, and these people they're coming here to Calibo, So I'm really happy, when it's like that because I'm excited for them. At least I can guide them. I can guide them through the process. Nothing, like I said, nothing like a friendly face, right? If you go to a faraway land, you land at the airport, you're kind of like feeling your way. Most of the time, you're gonna end up at an Airbnb. You don't know the neighborhood. You don't know the restaurants. It's just nice when you have a friendly face to get you at the airport, like show you around, it's like give you like the layout of the land, where you're retiring or moving here. Like I said, I don't think it's that difficult to find that, find a spot with the amount of expats that are in the Philippines, um, I have dealt with a lot of expats, being 3.5 years now on YouTube. I meet more friendly and more positive expats than negative. Don't get me wrong, there are negative ones. There are negative ones, but I meet more good people. It's like people I know genuinely want to help, especially if you tell them your situation, if you tell them that, hey man, I'm on a budget retirement, I don't know, I want to stretch my money, I don't have medical insurance, those kind of stories. I just can't make it here in the United States. I'm lonely in the United States. Nobody want to talk to me. It's like I just feel like I have nobody. I just want to try the Philippines to see what life I can build in the Philippines. Man, you tell that story, most people were like, hey man, I'll help you out. I'll help a brother out, right? It's like we're all brothers in this world when you think about it, so it's like, and for me, it feels good when I can help somebody make that easier, soft landing in the Philippines, transition here in the Philippines. You are very yes, man. Man, Frank's a good guy. I can tell Frank's just a good guy, man. I'm glad I can call Frank my friend. Thank you for the support, Frank. All right. This man, Gino, convinced me to take on Iloilo when we get, all right, Vaughn. Hey, man, Vaughn, you will not be disappointed with Iloilo, man. I have a friend now there. They just moved into their house. They were in a condo for a year. Now they just moved to their house. A nice yard, man. They did like landscaping in the yard. The wife is a retired Navy. It's the wife. The husband's retired Air Force. That they have high school kids and college kids here. High school kid is like, I think 12. And then the college kid, I think he's like 17, 18. But they live, they have a place in California, but they decided to move here. I think they're keeping their house in California, but they just prefer living here in Iloilo City. And stories like that, I can tell you, Vaughn. Oh, my friend Ivan from Canada, we were messaging each other last night. He's Canadian, his wife's Filipina. Now they're in Iloilo City. He can't be happier, man. He's got 2 kids. His kids are 7 and 4. The 7-year-old is attending Ateneo de Iloilo, and she's also at Kumon. Smart kid, smart kid. And he was just like, we were messaging, and I told him, man, you're blessed, brother, and he's just enjoying life here because he doesn't have that stress anymore of life that he had in Canada. We'll be here to support you, Vaughn. It's like, I know I'm here in Calibo, but if you're in Iloilo, we got connections in Iloilo, man. I'll guide you through that. And I go often to Iloilo anyway, so when you get there, it's like you will find assistance. I will connect you to people in Iloilo. It's a great choice. Iloilo's worth the sightseeing. Yes, they are. Right? See, Frank, he's in Iloilo. He can tell you all about Iloilo. Thanks, Frank. I hope Gino gets to see your little quad runner. All right. Ray, hey, good Ray, my good friend in Sacramento, California. Good day. How is it, bro? I'm good, bro. I'm good, brother. I'm good. Saturday here, no plans yet. When Leanna and Daza wakes up, I did want to take Leanna swimming, so this might be a good day because it's clearing up here pretty nicely. The weather is like, let me show you guys real quick that Earlier, it was still, the sun was just starting to come out earlier, but now looks like it's blue skies now. It's like clearing out here. No rain clouds at all. Sun is bright again. Look at that sun, man. Look at that sunrise today. Sunshine. Nothing but sunshine again here. I don't see any rain clouds. All blue skies now. Like I said, I'm glad I started the live stream earlier, but because by 9 a.m. here, it's gonna be starting to warm up here. Like earlier when I started the live stream, it was 78 degrees because I started the live stream earlier. But by the time 9 o'clock hits here, it's gonna start, it doesn't take long to start warming up here when the sun is up. For sure by 10 a.m., you're already reaching close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit here. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Zabwansa. Thank you. Little LOL. Understatement. Mary Jane Chavez. Hi. We really love your blog, especially your topic about retirement especially in Iloilo. All right, all right. And I'll be back. Like I said, I'll be back in Iloilo. Like October is when I do my monitoring MRI. So I'll do more videos. If you want to see anything special, like maybe I haven't filmed yet of Iloilo, just let me know. I'll make it happen. I'll film it. Oh, thank you, Vaughn. Thank you for the kind words, brother. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. You guys are building a community, Frank. We are. I mean, this, I know we're gonna see more of each other, even with James and Karen, Mike and Kat, that Philippines life, Frank and Phil, me, it's like when we're gonna see each other, like in Rojas City, at the Canadian Beaver. That's kind of like the meeting place of the vloggers here in Panay Island. And I know Frank mentioned to me he's planning something like a vloggers get together in Boracay. I know, I'll attend that for sure. It's like it's just nice that you got that. We have that community here. So when you come here, you won't feel alone. You won't feel like you don't know anybody. It's like to me that just like you get started on the right foot. You get comfortable. It's like that's why when I was reading that post by that expat 66-year-old from Florida that moved to Cebu City. He's been there 3 weeks, and he says he's barely meeting anybody. I'm like, and he's staying, it's an Airbnb. He said he did walk out. I felt bad for the guy because man, Cebu City has more expats than Panay Island. All put together. It's like, so I'm thinking like, come on, man. One person can't help a brother out. Come on now. With all those expats that are living in Cebu City, nobody gonna help a brother out. Come on, man. Truthfully, Gino is 5 years experience. I am only 1.5 year in and very new to that. So I watched to learn technique. Don't tell him I'm learning. Don't tell him I'm learning. Man, it doesn't look like, man, you look like a professional, Frank. I thought you've been, when I saw your videos, I was like, man, I thought Frank's been doing this for years, man. Like I said, you're there. He's a natural, man. Frank, to me, what I see, Frank, what I see in you, you're just genuine. You're just doing you. And I think that's what I mentioned earlier. It's like, you get what you see. That's what's important. Just be genuine. Do your, be yourself. Don't try to like impress people. Don't try to like do stuff just to impress. I don't do that. It's like, when I meet other vloggers, to me, they're just like normal people like I am. It's like, even when I meet people that, they're big on YouTube, I know they're big on YouTube, but to me, they're just like a person like anybody else. I'm still looking for like how is the person really, naturally or genuine? Is the person genuine? Because sometimes you meet, like I said, I meet bloggers that are, I have a different picture of them when I meet them in person. Oh, they're not really the same like what they act like on YouTube, But I know Frank is genuine, man. Frank's a genuine person. I remember Frank, at the anniversary, me and Frank, they were having music. We were on the beach, and me and Frank were like dancing in there, man. We're just like having fun, because like me, I know how to have fun. I don't care. It's like Dazzle always tells me, "You're embarrassing me, babe." It's like, here are you're gonna embarrass. I'm like, I just like, if I feel like dancing, if I hear music, I'll dance. To me, it's like, I'm comfortable with myself. I don't have to like, it's like, I'm not embarrassed easy. It's like, I like your positive vibes, brother. All right, thank you, for the kind word, and that's how I am naturally. It's like, I have a lot to be think positive about. It's like, I don't know if you're, I'm a cancer survivor. So for me, just surviving 12 chemo treatments and 33 radiation treatments, and how healthy I am now, I can do things. It's like, I'm just so grateful. I'm living my life day to day. I'm like experiencing life, enjoying, like grateful for each day, waking up each day with like I'm just happy when I wake up. Like I told Dazzle, it's like there really isn't no reason for us to just like enjoy. It's like Dazzle and I, we don't work. So every day when we wake up, it's like we just like think, Dazzle will say, "Hey, I want to go fishing. Let's go. We'll go fishing." Or let's go to the beach. We go to the beach. Or Leanna tells me, "I want to go swimming, Kuya. Let's go swimming." It's like, I mean, that's the life we have. And that's daily. It's like we don't have a weekend. We don't have a TGIF, Monday morning. Everything's like a vacation for us now. So how can you not be grateful? How can you not be like positive about life when you're experiencing that? Got 3 good places to visit. Panay Island, Calibo, all right, Edgar, got you. That's easy. That's easy. Iloilo, that's easy. We'll visit that, Edgar. And the Beaver, all right, all right. I'm sure, Michael's always happy when I bring people to the Canadian Beaver, of course, because it's another customer, another expat to join. He just had, like this Friday, he had like the first ever meeting of expats at the Canadian Beaver. It's like, I wish I could go, I wish I was closer, but we're going there anyway for Lara's birthday, so we're going to be there. So, but when you get here, Edgar, that will be one of our first stops. We'll go to Rojas City and visit the Canadian Beaver. Mary Jane Chavez, Gino, my husband really learned a lot from you. All right, all right. Hey, that's what I want. I want to hear that you're, that people are learning from me. Like at least I'm sharing my experience. I'm the 14 years I've been here, I do have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experiences, both good and bad. It's not always good. There's some bad experiences there, but I'm happy to share it. 9 months more, he retired. Hope. All right, all right. Hey, for sure. If you're coming to Iloilo, you will meet me. If you go to Iloilo, if you go to Boracay, you go to Aklan province, you will meet me. It's like those are the places that we go all the time. So not, just contact me. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Fortune, Iloilo City is the best. If you prefer a city, international, clean, nice, loving people, great cuisine. Amen, Fortune, because like I always preach it to people, and I know I've influenced many people looking at Cebu City before, Angeles City, in Manila, and I have moved them to like convince them to move to Iloilo City, because to me, Iloilo City is the best city in the Philippines. If I had to live in a city, it would be Iloilo City. I lived there for 4 months during my treatments, and I just love it there. It's like the whole vibe of Iloilo City. I mean, walkable. You can walk anywhere. There's sidewalks. You don't have to walk in the street. To walk. There's the most bike-friendly city that you'll find in the Philippines. I don't think I'll get an argument for that, because like I've gone through many cities in the Philippines, and most of the time, if you have to ride your bicycle in a city, you have to be on the road. You have to be on the road with jeepneys and tricycles. Here in Iloilo City, they have bike paths. You can even bike the Esplanade along the river. You can ride your bicycle. It's just beautiful, like Fortune was saying. It's clean, amazing food. It's like about the only place I can say maybe better food-wise. I know the food place in the Philippines is like Pampanga. You know, Pampanga is like the Kapampangans in Central Luzon. They're good cooks. They're known for their food, but you know, Iloilo cuisine is like right up there. You know, like between Iloilo City and Angeles City or Pampanga. That's what I would compare. But all the Western food that you can think of is in Iloilo City. You know, it's like they have, you know, we had that buffet. We ate at that Vikings buffet, kind of like Vegas style buffet for like $20. You know, it's like, and it was awesome. They had lamb, they had beef, they have, you know, unlimited beer, unlimited beer on the buffet. A tap beer too, not like bottled. It was like on tap, San Miguel on tap, unlimited. I had a sub. Oh wow, Frank! You know that was one of the things, Frank. When I was that Subway franchise when I was in the United States, I was seriously thinking of that, especially when I retired from the military and I got a job at St. Mary's Hospital. When I got the job at St. Mary's Hospital, you know, I was always in the military. I was always an employee, and I was thinking about doing a Subway franchise, but never materialized. But you know, I love Subway, man. I love the sandwiches of Subway, the meatball sandwich, and the different types of bread. You know, it's like the wheat bread, the meatball sandwich, marinara sauce, and the cheese. Man, I can dream. There used to be a Subway in Boracay, but unfortunately it closed. It was right beside Nigi Nigi. Unfortunately, it closed. I have not seen a Subway ever. You know, once the one in Boracay closed, I haven't seen a Subway in the Philippines. I miss that. I miss that Subway. When I moved to Boracay in 2011, I was a regular. I would eat Subway almost every week. I would go through like the different sandwiches, different bread, you know. They even had like a breakfast, like a breakfast bread, like with egg, bacon, you know, and but now they don't, you know, unfortunately they closed that Subway in Boracay. Planning on flying to Caticlan Airport when I go there. Hopefully it will work out. Oh yeah, no worries, HC. I'll come get you, man. Just get me your flight details, man. I'll pick you up at Caticlan. Wherever you need to stay. If you're staying in Boracay, I'll take you there. If you're staying in Calibo, I got you, brother. I got you, brother. Hopefully it will work out since it's the first time flying to that airport. They are building a new airport. They are, you know, the Boracay airport that right now is kind of like confusing because Boracay airport, which is in mainland Aklan, it's not actually in Boracay. The departure is on the Caticlan side and the arrival is in Nabas. It's funny. When you have to fly out of Caticlan, you go into the departure in Caticlan, and they bus you. You actually ride a bus and the bus goes through the entire flight line, all the way to the end of the flight line to Nabas, and then you board your plane. So when you land in Boracay Airport, they call it Boracay Airport. You actually you land at the arrival, and you come out at the arrival, and there's tricycles there to pick you up. They also have van service, air-conditioned van, or tricycles. But I will be there. I've picked up many people there. I picked up Joel there. I picked up Ruben there. Who else? Gray. I picked up Gray at the Caticlan Airport. You'll see me there. Like the minute you come out of the airport, I'll be there. Hey, dude, I'm right here, dude. I'm right here. You know, I can't go in. I can't go into the arrival. I have to be outside the fence. But you can see it. The minute you walk out, you'll see me. Michael C. in the Philippines. That's why I will always say, Gino, bro, you are a blessing. You are giving out fantastic. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words, Michael. And I can't wait to hang out with you on Rose again, Michael. You know, that was fun that we got to hang out in Boracay Island. Dinner on me. All right. Hey, I'm not gonna turn down free dinner, Frank. All right, sounds good, Frank. I'll be there in October. Then I'm gonna spend a few days. Where I wanted to take Dazzle to Guimaras Island. We're gonna do I'll do my MRI, this like, we always like, when I do my MRI, I always kind of like make it a mini vacation in Iloilo City, and I'll include like a trip to Guimaras Island. So we'll spend at least 5 days, 5, 6 days in Iloilo City during this, in October. There's actually already people wanted to meet us in Iloilo City during October. So uh, I'll try to get that. Usually what I try to do is I schedule one day where I meet everybody. That way the rest of the time, Dazzle and I will have a vacation. Now, if you want more provincial, Aklan is great. Also, Rojas City, though a city is not as big as other cities. I prefer my mom's hometown. That I gotta visit. That I have not seen San Jose Antigua. I almost did back in May. I was gonna take my friend there, but he had to cancel from his trip from Hawaii to the Philippines. But that I gotta check out, Fortune. But I agree. Rojas City it's called Rojas City, but it's kind of like in between. I would say Rojas City is like between Iloilo City and Calibo, kind of like in between, like a mid-size city. But it's nice because you got Bye Bye Beach. Bye Bye Beach is really nice. But it's still got that whole, Rojas City still got that kind of like provincial feel, because the minute you go outside of Rojas City, it's nothing but fish farms, rice fields, the ocean, so we actually considered before we bought the house here at Camellia here. We considered Camellia Savannah in Iloilo City, and we considered Camellia Rojas in Rojas City, and then here. The only reason we ended up here was it's the closest to Boracay and the closest to Dazzle's family. Dazzle's family, all of them live in Caticlan, so we're only like an hour away from Caticlan. So that was the thing. We wanted to be close to the family. I know that goes against the grain. People always say, oh, you want to live like at least one island away from your family. That's what people say, but I don't believe that, man. It's like I'm Filipino, like I'm American, but I'm also Filipino. And for Filipino like me, it's like family is everything. It's like, good or bad happens, family is family. Greetings, Panay Pasi. Hope all is well. All is well, Daniel. I figure I was waiting for you, Daniel. I was like, I mentioned you earlier in the live stream. I did start the live stream early, Daniel. I got your message earlier. I messaged you back. I started it early because right now it's 7:30 and the sun is about to come up now. It's going to start warming up here. If I last till like 9 a.m. here, it's going to be hot. I'm going to start sweating. But at least now, I'm like 72 minutes into it, so maybe another 50 minutes. 8:30. At least it won't be so hot. It just gets warm here fast. Like earlier, when I started the live stream, I was at 78, right? 78 degrees. I bet you it's over 80 now. It's like it just the minute the sun comes up, the sun is so bright and intense. It gets warm here fast. Within Panay, if you like Boracay, then Numancia, Regino, or Calibo is a great central area. Yes, it is. I lived in Boracay before Fortune. I lived there for my first 18 months in the Philippines, but I like that I'm on the mainland now too. It's like eventually, like I said, maybe 3 years, Dazzle and I will move to Boracay, New Coast. But I do like that. When I lived that 18 months, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a motorbike, I just had my mountain bike. And that was fine in Boracay for my first 18 months. But I did miss driving. It's like I did miss the fact that I would still take vacations where I would fly to an area. Like I'm taking the bus from Caticlan before when I was living in Boracay to Iloilo. It's just different when you're riding a bus than driving. I like driving. It's like long distance driving never bothered me. I love it. It's like that's why I've taken that little car right there. That little car. I've taken that into Luzon. We rode that in the ferry in Luzon, and we rode from Batangas all the way to like Ilocos Norte, the Pagudpud area, Vegan, Baguio City. That little car right there went to Baguio City, a mile high up in the mountains. I drove that little car to Dumaguete City. It's like I took that, on the ferry from Iloilo to Bacolod, and then drove that little car all the way to Dumaguete. I just love I miss that actually, because in the U.S., it's common for us to do California to Florida. I used to do that all the time, like a road trip, no schedule, just like get on a road trip, stop somewhere, somewhere new, stop in New Mexico, stop in Arizona, stop in Texas, Louisiana. And that's the same thing I do when Daz and I travel in the car. We just kind of like we drive, like if we had gone in May, if we had gone to Antique Province, I never book I never book a hotel. We just drive and we just go into town, and it's like, hey, where's your hotel here? And then it's like they'll point it to you, and then because I can stay at any hotel here. Doesn't bother me. Like some people I know, they want the plush, and everybody's different. Nothing wrong with that. Me, man, I can stay at like a 500 peso hotel. I can take a shower in a bucket and a tabo. It's like that doesn't bother me, man. I'm Filipino, man. It's like. But even expats, I know expats here that take a shower like that. The balde, like the pail, and then the tabo. They just like scoop the water and take. I see Americans shower like that here. It's not like everybody's got to have that like hot shower, hot, to heat the water in the shower. I see many Americans here do the tabo, the tabo shower. Gino Maggie's fave is when, oh, right. Oh, man. Oh, Vanilla Frosty. Mine is chocolate. Yeah. I remember mixing that. Like I said, John, when I worked at Wendy's, they teach you all the stations, from burgers to French fries. The burgers were actually the hardest because it's the busiest, I remember. Even the cookies at Wendy's was really good too. It was on our bacon. Our bacon, actually, they come out of a tray. I remember they came out of a tray, and you lay the bacon, and it's in a wax paper, and you just put it in the oven. We cook the bacon in the oven for like, there's a timer for everything. When you work, people that work in the fast food industry know this, like everything's on a timer. It's like the French fries. When you drop the French fries, the timer starts. That when you put the bacon in the oven, the timer starts. And it's crazy when you're short staffed, and there's like alarms on the machines. They're like dee 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 dee. You're going like, okay, the bacon's done. You're like trying to get the bacon. I actually have like a burn mark right there. I have a burn mark right there. That's proof that I worked at Wendy's, man. A hot tray of bacon. We put it in like a rack, and I leaned against it. Because it's such a frenzy when you're working at a fast food. And I accidentally like rubbed against it, and to this day I got the scar to prove it. I got the Wendy's battle scar, man. I got Wendy's battle scar. We go to our local Wendy's from time to time. Do you know Wendy's caller says, "Mom"? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Wendy's caller. Oh, wow. Thank you, man. I never really noticed that. Man, I worked at Wendy's and I didn't even know that, man. Thank you, John. That's a cool trivia. That's a cool trivia. I didn't even notice. I've been wearing this shirt forever, and I didn't even notice that it says "Mom." Staying cool. All right, Edgar, staying cool. Like in the military, when you get a new GI, you take him under your wing. Yeah, right? That's the thing. I'm sure the Army was the same, right, Daniel? You would have a sponsor when you go to a new base. All the bases I went to, I had a sponsor. And usually the sponsor will show you around the hospital, show you around the base, and then even after work, will like show you the downtown area, the bar area, just, the places not to go. The places not to go. Low down. Yeah, right. Show you around. And to me, that is so important if you come to the Philippines. I felt bad for the gentleman. It's like he went to Cebu City and he's not meeting friends. He's been in Cebu City for 3 weeks. To me, that's just unfortunate. Because like with the number of expats in Cebu City, you can't find one. You can't find one to to show you around. That's like, to me, that's just unfortunate, because the bottom line is like, you're an American, you're going to the Philippines. There's many Americans here. Why would not another fellow American help you? So to me, it's like we do, like in the United States. When I go to anywhere in the United States, when I was in the military, and when I got out of the military, when I was in Arizona, the minute I see a Filipino in the United States, they're like, hey, bro, we're like brothers right away because we're Filipino. So why is it not like that with an American coming to the Philippines and seeing another American? You should be like excited. Hey, man, I'm from Tennessee. Hey, brother, I'm from Florida. To me, when I was in the United States, anywhere I went to the United States, with a minute, I can, we could tell we're Filipinos, right? I'm like, you Filipino? And then we start talking our language, our dialect. And if they don't speak the dialect, it's still a connection. It's like, it's unfortunate that, it's like Americans don't seem to have that kind of connection when they go to another country. I know probably people are saying, well, I wanted to get away from Americans. I know they say that. I hear that from Americans, but not all Americans are like that. Most of the Americans that I meet here in the Philippines, most of them are good people. It's like, Frank, come on, Frank's a good guy. It's like, when they started in the 80s in the Philippines. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The local owner is Crystal Jacinto. Man, see, you know more. You're good with that history. You're good with that history, Fortune. Man, I was just a worker at Wendy's. I just wanted my paycheck. I just wanted like my minimum wage paycheck at Wendy's when I was in high school. Good morning, everybody. Evening, brother, Cannon. All right, Gino, how's Kumon yesterday? I actually feel Kumon is working great. Leanna's liking it. Fortune, she went Tuesday, and then Thursday was a holiday, so makeup day was Friday. So I think I'm gonna take her there twice a week during the week, because I do want Leanna to have the day off. Like Saturday, Sunday. That's kind of her days off. So I'll take her Tuesday and Thursday, because I pick her up from school like at 4, and then I can take her to Calibo, and then she's there for maybe hour and a half. I can just film in Pastrana Park, So I think that'll be our routine. But she likes it. She likes. They tested her, of course, evaluated her math and her reading and English, and she's at the level. She's at the grade 7 level, like she's at grade 7. So more of it now is just like enhancing her math and enhancing her English. She likes it because there's a lot of kids there, and I like it because I noticed, like when I went there, Fortune, all the kids are speaking in English. So that will be a good exposure to Leanna, because Leanna at her public school here in Numancia Integrated School, nobody speaks English. Everybody speaks Aklanan. The kids actually probably make fun of you if you start speaking in English. So I like that when I take her to Kumon, the teachers, all the other students, they're speaking in English. I like that. That way, Leanna's going to get more comfortable speaking in English, because she speaks English well. Leanna's, I tell her all the time, but she's afraid. You know how kids are here, Fortune. It's like, people here in the Philippines, especially kids, when you mispronounce, and here we're in Visaya here. You know how the Visayans, they have that accent, kind of like in the U.S. You have that Southern accent. Accent, like in Texas, y'all. It's like in Boston. You got the accent, right? It's not a big thing in the big U.S. You could talk whatever accent you speak. Southern accent doesn't matter. Here in the Philippines, unfortunately, when you have the Visaya accent, when you mispronounce a word, they make fun of you. And I told Leanna, don't think about that. Just she's confident and all that, but hopefully she'll speak more English and gets better at her English. Ditto, HD, ditto. All right. Protagonism. When did Gus Fring own Wendy's? When did Gus Fring own Wendy's? That's funny. That's funny. Hey, you never know, man. Gus Fring got a lot of money, right? You know, he did own the chicken, right? He owned the chicken place. You never know, man. He might have owned Wendy's. You did me flashbacks talking about sponsors. I agree with you. Listen to you. I think you are. Oh, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. I just think, I just think everybody, before they come to the Philippines, I think uh, uh, search for that sponsor to sponsor you to the area where you're coming. It would make your transition here a lot easier, smooth landing. You would have less mistakes, less chances of getting scammed or getting charged overpriced. Because like I can tell you how much an apartment should cost in Boracay. I can tell you how much an apartment should cost in Calibo. I can tell you how much an apartment would cost in Iloilo City. They cannot trick me. I've seen it enough. They cannot trick me. If they say something 45,000 pesos, I don't think so. At least you got that right. But when you get here, a lot of times, expats, Americans, when they get here, a lot of times they're like, oh, that's pretty good price. When they say 30,000 pesos, like $500 or $550, that's pretty good price. But you don't know that they're like overcharging you. It's good to find a local that knows the price, knows the price. That way you don't have to go through all that. For August is History Month, the start of Philippine Revolution. I know that, Fortune, because Leanna's practicing some type of dance right now. She's supposed to perform the dance with a partner like August, I think the 18th, the 28th. She's been practicing like a Filipino folk dance or something like that. I'll see if I can film it, if they allow me to film it during her school day. June Pogi, all right, I like your name, Pogi, said I. Charlie Lance, my good friend in Boston. Hello to my fellow Gino gangsters. I don't know about gangsters, man. I don't know about gangsters, brother. Fortune, Taft Avenue is hopeless. Oh, Intramuros got flooded. I never used to get flooded in Intramuros, man. I know Taft is, like I said, Fortune, España and Taft Avenue, that's hopeless. That's been flooding since the 70s. But Intramuros, we usually didn't get, by Letran College, we weren't getting flooded there before, man. Like and subscribe and comment. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Good morning, Gino. Sorry, I missed. Oh no worries, man. You guys never have to worry about if you miss the live stream. I do so many live streams, so it's like if you're there, you're there. That's why I don't even schedule it. It's like I get up in the morning, I take Leanna to school, whatever time I start it. It's like don't ever feel like when you miss out, you got to say sorry. If you're there, I'm happy that you're here. But if not, people are busy. I know people got lives, in the U.S., man. I remember how life is in the U.S. I didn't have time to like sit through live streams. I might be able to put a live stream while I'm cooking dinner or while I'm eating dinner in the U.S. But man, I remember when I worked, all the responsibilities when I was still working in America. I know, time is precious in America. That's why I appreciate it when people take the time to watch the live stream, discuss these things with us, learn from each other, because I'm also learning from people. It's like I don't hold all the information about the Philippines. People like Michael in Trece Martires, he's the one feeding me information about SRRV because he got SRRV. It's like people that share their knowledge, like that Charles Schwab. Like I remember one of the subscribers, he shared me, oh, your international account between, I don't learn that stuff by I can Google all I want, but it's better like hearing from people that are actually having personal experience with it. So it's not just like I'm not just teaching you all. You're teaching me too. You're sharing the knowledge, and to me, that's what it's all about. That's what it's supposed to be here in the Philippines, where we're supposed to share the knowledge, share the things that we've learned here. That way, for the people that are still coming here, it'll be a soft landing, easier transition for people coming here. All right, hey, there you go, Frankenfeld, sub to you, HD, another subscription there. Gino, you can call us the Florida felons, Florida. I don't know, man. You don't want that word felon, man. You don't want that word felon here in the Philippines, man. You don't want immigration. Don't say that word here. Don't say that word here, Daniel. Because felon. That's not a good word for the Bureau of Immigration. You might get deported. They hear felon, man. All right, Bon. All right, thumbs up, Brian. I will have your balut. Edgar will have Daniel's balut ready. You're gonna have a balut competition. I'm 54. I would have been worn out and hit the hay at 6 p.m. too. I know, man. I was like, James, Karen and James, Karen, of course, they were like following the guide, and the guide was walking fast. I was like, they were like leaving us behind, and I'm like, man, I'm taking my time, man. I'm watching for rocks because it was some of the rocks were slippery. It's wet. I'm wearing flip flops. I'm wearing the flip flops. So I'm like, sliding a little bit. So I was taking my time, and I was like, man, James is getting further and further. He's like, I said, James, I walk slow, brother. Wait for me, wait for me. But I was worn out, man. By the time we walked through the jungle, the water tubing, and swimming a little bit in that giant pool-looking area, man, I was tired. And the drive, it's like an hour and 15-minute drive from our house and coming home. So by the time I got home, man, I was like, I was out. I was out. To all the Florida folks, it's tax-free all of August, and Costco. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Daniel just bought a new laptop. He mentioned to me this morning. From the proceeds of his getting rid stuff. Daniel's like getting rid of his stuff in order to come here to the Philippines. Hey, Olsen, magandang umaga, kapatid. Good day. Olsen, Aliyah, and Isaiah, hello Isaiah, from Columbia, South Carolina. Edgar, can we have a balut eating contest? I'll film that, man. You guys have a balut eating contest, and I won't join you, but see, you eat the most, but you go first. You go first. Hello, Fortune, Edgar. Hi, OB. All right. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Yes. It should be 3-day weekend here. 3-day weekend here, Olsen. Monday's a holiday. National Heroes Day. So Leanna doesn't have school for 3 days. I already told Leanna one of these days, either today, tomorrow, or Monday, we'll go swimming. We'll go to swimming at Agsam Resort. So she's already excited about swimming. And it looks like it's going to be beautiful weather here today. Nothing but blue skies now. So looks like today we're going to go swimming before. You just never know here because it could be like this today. Tomorrow it might be raining. So we're going to take advantage of this weather for sure. I had a house showing a few days back to back, hoping to. All right, good luck, Olsen, good luck. Daniel's getting rid of his stuff, the stuff Daniel has in storage. He's been selling it off, and he purchased a new laptop. Like I said, that's a good purchase to bring here because laptops here are more expensive than in the U.S. and more likely the laptops you have in the U.S. are a lot better quality. The laptops here are not good quality and expensive. So that's one of the things. Brand new laptop, bring a brand new laptop. And if you can get like a unlocked phone, smartphone, iPhone, whatever unlocked, get that before you get here. More expensive here. unless you buy the cheap brand here. There are cheap phones here, like my friend from Atlanta. He had his iPhone from the US, but he said he wanted like a local phone, like a cheap phone. You can get a cheap phone here, I think he paid $100 for his, like a Realme phone. I think they're made in China. You can just get a SIM card, pop the SIM card in there, and kind of like a burner phone. So he's got a burner phone here. He still has to register the phone here. There's still that Smart and Globe registration. But the people that will sell you the phone, they'll register for you. There's a way. You don't need the ACR card. You don't need that. The people selling the phone for you, they want to sell the phone, so they'll register it one way. Like wink, wink. It's like, but they'll get you a burner phone. They'll get you a burner phone here. Super Typhoon is category 5. Yes, yes. I've only experienced 2 super typhoons, like I said here. Super Typhoon Yolanda in 2014, and then Super Typhoon Ursula. That affected us here. I think it affected most of the country, most of the Philippine islands. I know Yolanda, it hit like Tacloban City, like in Leyte, that area, and it like wiped out just about everything there. Here in Aklan province, in 2014, we not have electricity for 1 month. All the power lines here were destroyed. It's like big power lines up in the mountains, up in the hills, destroyed, during 2014. 1 month. I was living in Calibo at the time. I ended up buying like a small generator so I can power my laptop, because school still went. It's like I was going to college at STI College Calibo with Dazzle, and in 2014, when that happened, no electricity for 1 month in Calibo, but we still had to go to school. I mean, it was hot in those classrooms. They had to open the windows in the classrooms. It was dark. They had like those floodlight things for lights at night, but it was crazy. But we still attended school, but survived it. Then Super Typhoon Ursula in 2019, we didn't have electricity for like a week here in Numancia. We were staying in this house already, but at that time I had my Blue Yeti power station. So that came in really handy. I didn't have to buy a small generator anymore. What's up? Drop in to watch the Master of Lies. I don't know about Master of Lies. Master of Lies, Frank. Gino handles this well with great diction. It's a learning experience. All right. Thank you so much, Frank. So kind of you, brother. Appreciate you, Frank. Who else has channels we can sub? Yep, we got James and Karen, Rhea and Roy, good channels to sub. And then, we're all subscribed to Michael of That Philippines Live. I'll compose the link. Frank and Phil. Oh, thank you again. Wow, Frank. I mean, that's twice. Oh man, you're so awesome. Thanks. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that, my brother. HD. When there are not enough smaller fish for the bigger fish to eat, then it cannot support the larger part of the food web. Like, oh, I know. That's why I don't see birds here, man. I go to the beach here, HD. I rarely see seagulls. I rarely see birds by the beach here, by even the New Washington Wall there, the seawall, because I know they overfish here. I know they overfish everything here. I mean, they eat tiny little fish here. It's like they don't throw anything back to the ocean here. If they net it, they eat it. There's no like catch a size of the fish, throw back. There's none of that here. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Just sub to Frank. All right. Yes, subscribe. Please subscribe to Frank and Phil. Subscribe to their channel, please. I have never seen a blogger like you. You're original. All right, Joe. Thank you. That's nice to hear. Thank you, my friend. It's hard to find a guy like you. God bless. God bless, brother. God bless. Thank you. Here in Florida, the seagulls will take food. hot dogs. Right off your hands. Right off your hands, Daniel. Man, those are hungry seagulls, man. You gotta be careful. I'll be like eating my burger, like, come on, man, seagulls. Where you at? I'll be like that, man. One. All right, one. Once we are all Panay Pasi over there, maybe we could all meet every 2, 3 months and share. Oh, of course, we could do that. We could do that, Daniel. Like I said, I know I'm gonna learn from you guys. I'm gonna learn from you, Daniel, because you're gonna tell me your journey. You're gonna explain to me, hey man, I had to sell all my stuff. Flying here, going through SSRV. When you go through that process, you know, I'm gonna learn from you. Because those things change here in the Philippines. As you know already, the SRRV, there's an increase in price, lower in age. Things change in the Philippines. So you are the guys that you got fresh information when you come here. Ria and Roy, Ria also from La Castañela, like oh nice, nice. See, we're all like. Frank and Phil, my favorite blogger from my birth. All right, see, nice, nice, Fortune. It's always good to have other expats around to share knowledge with. It is, and that's why I said, it's like that's why and we'll do that, Edgar. When you get here, when Daniel, when JP gets here, we'll get all the information, share it with people, make it easier for the next group of people coming to the Philippines, because there's plenty of people coming to the Philippines. My friend Michael in Trece Martires, he shared with me that I'm now I joined it's a website on Facebook, SRR, the PRA, Philippine Retirement Authority. And man, I'm like looking at their page almost every day, every other day. 20 to 30 people are like getting that oath. I guess when you do the SRRV, there's a big, everybody goes to this office and you have to take an oath. I guess, like probably like, just to abide by the Philippine laws and things like that. And there's just like 20, 30 people almost every other day, not just from America, but also from what surprised me, from other Southeast Asian nations like South Korea, Malaysia, China. I'm like, what? It's like, so it's not just like Canadians, Americans, Western world coming here to retire. It's also like even in Southeast Asia, they're coming here to the Philippines. I actually was reading an article, and I think I'll make a vlog. I'm still on the research phase of the blog. But even Koreans, they're coming here to like Cebu City, Angeles City, to send their kids to school, because they want their kids to learn English well, because that's important in Korea. And I remember when I was stationed in Korea, I was actually a tutor. I would tutor university students in English, and how big that is. And these are, children. They're sending their children here to the Philippines to study in the Philippines. So I'll research more. I want to get all the facts correct before I do the video. Same thing with doctors. There's like the medicine here in the Philippines. You often hear how substandard medicine in the Philippines. You often hear that, but the thing is, it's like people from all over the world, including America, they're sending their kids here for medical school. Medical school is popular here in the Philippines. Manila, Iloilo City being another one where these people are coming from other countries to the Philippines, Western countries, to study medicine here because of the cost and because of also like the experience that they'll gain here. So I'll do the research. And I'll make a video of it. I also saw another article how the Philippines, they're already calling the Philippines like one of the next tiger nation in Southeast Asia. It's like our GDP here in the Philippines the last 5 years have grown like 6% every year. More and more factories are being built here, like in Santa Rosa, Laguna. There's like a Ford plant, There's electric vehicles being assembled now in Santa Rosa, Laguna. So the Philippines is like an up and comer in Southeast Asia. People are saying, well, AI is going to ruin the Philippines, you know, it's because like the BPO industry. The Philippines is no longer just a BPO country. You know, it's like what the Philippines offers that a lot of countries do not. We have a younger population here in the Philippines. The population in the Philippines, I think the last I saw, 35 years and under, we're like at 65%. This is a young nation, you know. That's a problem with a lot of nations, right? They're overpopulated by older people in their 60s. Filipinos, man, there's a lot of young Filipinos willing to earn $300, $400 a month, you know. And I think there's smart enough business people in the world that can see that, you know, if you build a factory here in the Philippines, you got these young workers that will work for $300 or $400 a month, you know, strong, able body, college graduates, English-speaking Filipinos. So it's not just, you know, people are thinking, oh, it's going to be horrible for the Philippines. AI, you know, it's going to kill all the workers here in the Philippines. Philippines is pivoting from that. We're not just a BPO or a call center nation. You know, there's a lot of like factories being built here, like semiconductors being made here in the Philippines now. So, and we're allies with America. With allies with America, you know, we're not like we're not on the bad list from the president of the United States. So good things are gonna happen here in the Philippines. Many big bonus of Iloilo. Great movie. Oh man, IMAX. They got IMAX, Daniel. I love the IMAX there. They got those seats there, like really comfortable, reclining leather seats, man. This movie theater is awesome in Iloilo City. Texas Roadhouse. I haven't been to that one. I haven't been to the Texas Roadhouse. SNR, of course. Landers soon. Yep, they're building the Landers. Endless malls, hospital, except TRICARE. I know, man. Nothing more. To me, it's like, to me, especially for military veterans, military retirees that are on TRICARE, man, you can't find a better spot than Iloilo City. There are better hospitals in Manila, BGC, like St. Luke's and BGC, Makati Medical, but you're going to be in Manila. You know, hard to get around Manila. Let alone if you got to drive in Manila. I would never drive in Manila. Whereas in Iloilo City, you can drive, you can ride a motorbike in Iloilo City. It's a very well laid out city, not as big as Metro Manila. Easy to get around, easy to get around. Hey, there's James and Karen. James and Karen Adventures. They're in Masbate. Masbate. I was watching the lives yesterday, James, at the party. I didn't know Michael White was having a birthday party. There's a lot of people at that birthday party. Mom and I were just watching your night fishing with that net. You know, you guys like spread out that net. That was pretty cool. Mom was saying, man, they're like in a tiny boat. I was like, well, because it was, I know James and Michael and then the two crewmen, and Mom was like saying, that's a tiny boat. But I guess, I'm sure Michael, I'm sure the brother-in-law, I'm sure they're like expert boat people. And they were doing it at night. They were like fishing at night. They had like that solar light, fishing at nighttime. Hopefully you get good weather, James. Like here, the weather's like great. The weather is great here. Hopefully on your way back from Masbate, safe travels, safe travels. Hopefully you won't see like another water spout. Hopefully you don't see another water spout. I know you probably like to see one, but man, just be safe. Just be safe, my brother. We want you in one piece back in Balete. We want you in one piece back in Balete. Good day, James and Karen. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the gift, Frank. Man, Frank, you're too much, brother. You're too much. Ooh, I can barely read that. Oh, because it got membership. All right. I can barely read that. That's why I have to like go really close. James received the gift. All right. Membership. I'm not really familiar with that. That's why I was like, all right. Hello, Fortune. Vlad. All right. All right. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Ron Navy, hey Ron Navy, I haven't seen you in a while, brother. I haven't seen you. Hope all is well. You got to update me with your petition. I remember your petition. I was, you know, I will talk offline. I'll message you after this live stream, Ron. You know, and the business in Rojas City, the business. Good morning, hey Ray in Tagaytay. All right, Ray. Wow. Thanks for the Memi membership subscription, Frank. That's awesome. I know, I don't really understand how that goes, but thank you. Thank you so much. I know it's like that's a big deal, Frank. So kind of you. So kind of you. Who got the membership to Dazzle? Please thank Frank for giving. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Frank. That's never happened in our channel, Frank. That's why I don't know what, it's like, I know it's a big deal though. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my brother. Thanks, Frank. That's why I didn't know what was going on because the names and all that, I don't know, that's never happened with our live stream or our channel. But thank you so much. Ask the Cebu guy to go to Panay. That's the thing. I know, right? I know, right? It's like, I'll message him today because I noticed when he posted that on the Philippine Expat group, it's called Philippine Expats, he's got like over 300 comments. So I was like, well, if I comment, he probably won't see my comment, but I will. I'll at least make an offer. I'll at least make an offer to him. Because to me, that's just unfortunate. That shouldn't happen. Not in Cebu City. The amount of expats in Cebu City, there's got to be one that would want to help a brother out. He's like staying in his Airbnb. He said he's gone to the mall, SM Mall, but he's not meeting anybody. To me, that's unfortunate. Yeah, right, Fortune. When we go like Filipinos, when we go anywhere, I mean, when we go to Thailand, Singapore, when you see a kababayan, you're like, hey, what are you guys doing here? It feels like you're connected already, Why can't it be like that with Americans? It should be the same, it should be the same. I treated my elementary classmates in Wendy's in 1985. All right. We were grade 6, the original in front of Dusit Hotel in Makati. Ayala's turned into building. Okay. I remember eating at Wendy's, Dazzle. It was the first time I took Dazzle. First time she had a Wendy's was at Cubao. At Cubao. We were walking in Cubao. We were at Alley Mall. I know it's not Alley Mall, but another mall. And she had the Baconator. She had the Baconator. Dazzle said, oh, I like this Baconator. Because I told Dazzle, oh, they got a Wendy's here in Cubao. Let's go find it. Because I told her I worked at Wendy's before. And she loved the Baconator at Wendy's. And then the shake, the shake at Wendy's too. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Tanya. Fortune, we got cheeseburger. Back then, you will say with everything, tomato on, yeah. Yeah, in the U.S., when we did Wendy's, in the U.S., everything, man, you can customize everything. That's why you got to be fast when you're fast food in the U.S. because people will order like, hold the onions, extra tomatoes, extra, there's always like, each person will make a description of how they want their burger. But we're trained, when you're working at the fast food in the U.S., you just got to be fast. Yeah, fries and drink. Yeah. Kids Frosty, yeah, I remember all that. Even though we don't have a Wendy's here. It's been a while. I can't, it's been a while. Angeles City was the last time I had a Wendy's. 3 years ago was the last time I had Wendy's. But the next time I get a chance, if I'm around it, I'll be eating at Wendy's again. I didn't know the original Wendy's was the one in Makati, in the old Ayala Mall. The founder was from, he owned a KFC and sold it, started up Wendy's. Ah, cool, cool. Gino, good point. Just call us, the Florida folks. Hey, keep it that way. Keep it like that, man. Daniel, no, we can't use that word here, man. It might trigger. You know, it might trigger the immigration people here. You're getting us kicked out before we get there. See, and you're saying the same thing. You know, there's some words that you don't want to mention here. Some words that you don't say here in the Philippines, and that's one of them. FELON. We don't want to mention that word here in the Philippines. And do you know if they have eSIMs so you can switch different service? Yes, they have. They have HD. They have a eSIM now where it's not the SIM card anymore. They do have that here. But you'll have to go to like the Smart or Globe office to get the eSIM. But they have them. They have them. I think Dazzle helped help the person do that. Dazzle's more versed on like all the technical stuff, like even Gcash, eSIM. I'm not good with that. I always like point them to Dazzle. Oh, Dazzle will help you. Dazzle's helped a few expats like start their Gcash account because you have to have your ACR card. You have to have like a photo taken, and it's real particular. It's like it does a lot of error, but Dazzle knows how to do it. Like the background has to be plain white, and you have to have you have to, on your phone, you got to get that phone on that round thing on your, Dazzle knows how to do it. I can't, man. When I got my Gcash account, she helped me. Different service providers use their own cell towers. So in areas where certain coverage is not covered, it would be convenient to switch to the one that covers it. Yeah, HD, some people, like me, I just stick with Smart. I figure if it don't work with Smart, I'm cool. I'll find Wi-Fi somewhere. But I do know people with like multiple. They would have on their phone, they'll have Globe and Smart. I do know people do that. And eSIM, they don't have to have the slots anymore to like... Kumon reading will improve Liana's English speaking. I think so. And she's enjoying it. Yesterday while she was there, I was kind of like, I would like peek a little bit. I would like on her. She had to do classwork yesterday, and she had homework too. So, but I like it. I like it for her. I'm happy because she likes it. That's the main thing. She doesn't feel like it's extra work for her. HD, I'm taking 2. Keeping my US phone plan for a year extra. Phone ready to go. Oh yeah, great idea, Edgar. Man, Edgar, you're like good to go, brother. When you get here, man, you're gonna have a good time when you get here. No, we're gonna make you like a soft landing, smooth transition to Calibo. Edgar, I'm planning to port my phone to Google Voice, then have the forward calls to local phone number. That way I can keep my US number but still receive the calls. Oh man, that's we'll have to see if that we'll have to see that work. I've never heard of anybody doing that, HD, but you got all the technical down. You'll have to show me that, when you maybe that's something I can share on the channel. Maybe I do a video that, if you do it and it works, that'd be like, maybe somebody else would want to do that. How many DACA receive or DACA, DACA? I'm not sure what DACA is. Maybe somebody here, I don't know what a DACA recipients. DACA. When you port your phone number, it ends your service to your current service. So don't do it until you, oh, okay. Banks and few other things need a physical phone or can be cut off from your money. One thing, Edgar, I noticed, for me anyway, I've never had my money, I only have one bank account in the US and I barely do any transaction for them. But from my experience, it seemed like the credit union are more lenient. The banks are more strict. Seem like the credit unions seem to be more relaxed. I don't have to have a phone number with my credit union. With my credit union, an email is most of my communication with them. And I've had them since I retired from the military, since 2004. I have not changed banks. The only reason I have that bank is because of my military pension. My military pension, our bank, our accounting, DFAS, the finance, they won't send my money here to the Philippines. If they allowed that, I would not have any need for a bank in the U.S. But I have to have a bank, so my pension goes to that bank, and I transfer the money here to the Philippines. My Social Security, when it's time in 3 years, once I get my Social Security, I can get my Social Security direct to my Philippine bank. That's what many expats do here. They don't even send their money to the U.S. bank. When I sign up for the U.S. Embassy in Manila, I can give them my Banco de Oro account, and Social Security will send my money to Banco de Oro. I always kind of wonder why the military is different, but I'm not going to complain. As long as they're sending me my pension, they can send it anywhere they want, as long as I can get to it. But I'm hoping someday they'll start letting us get our military pension here in the Philippines. That banks will verify first to see if it's a U.S. Once you confirm in their system, then you can port it. Porting your number is moving the same phone number in a different service. You can't port your phone number unless you're finished with your contract. If you have a contract with the phone provider, that number is technically still theirs until it's done. Okay. Whoop, whoop. All right, Frank. All right. Thank you, Frank. Okay, we're hitting the 2-hour mark. That's usually my limit. So I'm going to try to see if I got to the bottom anyway. Perfect timing. Wendy's famous for one-time salad. You can stack as much as you want. Yeah, I know when I went to the last Wendy's I ate, they just serve it now in like a plastic thing. It's like they still have salad. Don't forget. Oh, thank you, Frank. Phil. Thanks for the live, Gino. Take care. All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate everyone for joining the live stream. And Frank, thank you, my brother. I'm so blessed to call you my brother, my friend. Can't wait to hook up with you again, talk and hang out. Stay blessed, everyone. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.